Do you have questions about the right kind of snack to get you through the day? Well, we're going to talk about that. Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Megan. I am a board certified physician in internal medicine, lifestyle medicine, and obesity medicine. And this channel is your one-stop shop for evidence-based answers to your weight questions. So welcome. Today we are going to talk about snacks. I just gave a talk about this and I thought, oh, this would be a good thing to share with you all as well. So what is a good snack is a question I get asked about a lot. And I'm going to preface this by saying that I'm actually kind of anti-snack. And what I mean by that is I'm anti-unintentional snack, because I think what I see a lot in my office is I see a lot of people who are, unintentionally grabbing things here and there, or they are habitually snacking on things at night and it's so built into their day that they don't even realize it till they're halfway done. And that can be very distressing for people and really keeping them from achieving the lifestyle changes that they want. So I'm not a fan of unintentional snacking, but I am a fan of intentional snacking, because I think snacking is a good litmus test in terms of how well your meals are working for you. So if you find that, wow, I am consistently needing a snack at this point in the day, either that's a good place to add a snack intentionally, or it might be that your lunch or your breakfast isn't really holding you through the way you really want it to. So either way is fine, whatever works for you. So if we're gonna add a snack, we really want it to be intentional. And I think the best goal of a snack is really if you have a prolonged time between meals and you really need it to just get you through to your next activity, but you really don't want to have a full meal at that time. So like if you're going to be working out later than normal and you're going to be kind of in a brain fog, or you don't want to listen to your stomach grumbling the whole time, that's a great time to add a snack, because you don't want to be working out with a full stomach, right? That doesn't feel good. So that's a great time to add a snack. Figure out what works for you, but today I'm going to talk about what makes a good snack. So first of all, ideally your snack has three key components. It has fat, it has fiber, and it has protein. Because while there are many sensory inputs that contribute to our appetite, our true physiological sense of hunger and fullness comes from our stomach. That is ground zero for your actual hunger and fullness. So it's very important that we're giving our stomach the most accurate and satiating signals that we can. So fat, fiber, and protein really help communicate satiety to your stomach. Secondly, you have probably all heard of the glycemic index, and that is a measure of how food affects our blood sugar, essentially. And a good example of that is an apple. So if you have an apple, it has the skin on it, all the fibers intact, that's going to register much lower on the glycemic index than apple juice, where the water's been squeezed out, the sugar's been squeezed out. It's essentially kind of part of a deconstructed apple. And that's going to register much higher on the glycemic index. And so your blood sugar is going to go much higher. It's going to be more reactive with something that is higher on the glycemic index than it will with something that is lower on the glycemic index. And I like to think of our blood sugar, our appetite, as a fire. And you want the fire to be constantly burning at a controlled, manageable level. If you put newspaper on a fire, that's just gonna burn right up and it's gone. And that's like drinking apple juice or something that has a really high sugar content that's very processed, like gummy bears, apple juice, something like that. That's the equivalent to newspaper on a fire. Whereas something like an apple, or if you're adding something like fat, fiber, protein to something, that's going to lower the glycemic index. There's a lot of overlap between these categories. That's going to lower the glycemic index, and that's going to be more of a nutritionally dense log on the fire. That's going to keep things burning for longer at a more controlled level. Finally, you want to be looking at things that are as unprocessed or minimally processed as possible. When you go to the grocery store, there are all sorts of snacks, and they are in powders, they are in goos, they are in like pulverized things, and we didn't really evolve to eat that way. You know, we have essentially the same body that we had 2,000 years ago. Really nothing has changed at all. And so that's not really how our bodies are best, that's not really the best fuel for our bodies. Our bodies evolved to consume food as it comes naturally, and food comes naturally as a package. So an apple, in its natural whole state, has sugar, but also has quite a lot of fiber, has a lot of vitamins in it. And that's really the best way to consume it. So unprocessed or minimally processed, meaning, chopped, diced, lightly sauteed, roasted. You can recognize the food as a food, minimally processed. So I'm going to list some snacks up here, and I think they're really easy to do, easy to create, easy to find. But more than that, I really like this formula, so you can just be thinking about this whenever you are in the grocery store, or you're thinking about the snack that you want to take with you to work or take with you to school. These snacks I think are great, but the formula I think is most helpful. That's gonna do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in learning more about healthy ways to eat, I always recommend this book. I mean, it's better than any. Don't get a diet book. Get this book. It's so quick and easy, and you can thank me later. It's just full of great advice. It's kind of a classic, but if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. He's a really wonderful author, and it's very accessible. You could read this in an hour. Also, I just want to do a shout out to the maker of this candle. This candle is the Solstice candle by Amber, and it's made by a physician, an anesthesiologist. She makes these incredible candles. You should definitely check them out. They're very seasonally based. I just love, physician-made products, and I highly recommend it. This one smells amazing. It's a good kind of winter citrus candle. It's got rosemary, it's got orange, it's got eucalyptus. It's fabulous, and you should check out her stuff. I'm going to link it below. But anyway, I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, please be well.